What's going on? Move the Mouse back in City Skylines, town of Rosewood. Let's play Season 10, episode number 20. I have to think day of the week, because I do use Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and happen to start at the beginning of a week, so they always line up in multiples of 3, which is nice. But sometimes it takes me a second. Anyways, that really doesn't matter, so pay no attention to that. I'm here at the trams, one, because we got to keep an eye on this, but it does sort itself out eventually. Do we have traffic lights here? We don't on this one. It's too much traffic coming through this area. Part of that problem is that we don't have there's two ways really from the highway into Laurel Heights, which is our entertainment district. Still need a name for that one. But we come in here, and where are we? Yeah, right off of here. So you can come in this way. This still needs to be redone, but basically highway to roundabout to down there, or highway. You can't go through that strip unless you live there. So if you happen to be coming from outside and live here, then you could drive through. If not, you're coming down this way. This is where most people are coming to our entertainment district. So this is busy with traffic, and it all gets backed up over here. We've got a lot of tram lines, and I do want to check. I think it's important that we check our tram lines again. So where are those? Right here. If we don't have a ton of passengers waiting, like, so we've got, what do we got here? See, now this is all people that are waiting over this way. I think if we hooked up a tram line that kind of went, maybe we bring trams all the way around the lake today and get at least 2 more tram lines in. That might make a huge difference. It might also introduce even more trams onto this roundabout. So maybe we even look at a completely separate tram route that covers this side of the island. I think we could do that. I think we could kind of fit it off to the side over here. We've got a little bit of room we could play with over here in what's called Aspen Heights. I did want to maybe get a little bit more trees here. Hang on. Again, not really an important part of the build, but just as a where not to build marker. So I don't think we'll build there. We might come up. Just gonna thin that out just a little bit. Too much, but still some trees there. We might come up into here, right? And not up here, but some neighborhoods up this way. And then we could have one more highway exit, I think, over here. But do we do trams? I think that we do. This not what I intended today, but I think it's going to be a pretty good development to solve one of our tram problems, which is too many people at this stop. Which, I don't know, maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. But if we can spread the traffic out a little bit, we can back the number of trams down and then have our traffic spread out a little bit better and not be backing up. Not be backing up this so much. So they're all just waiting. They're waiting to go around the roundabout, which actually slows all this traffic down, which backs up onto this street because the roundabout's not efficient. Like, you know, we don't have mods. We can't kind of fix some of this stuff other than just disconnecting the roads and not letting the traffic get there in the first place. We're using things like Old Town, things like that, but just too much stuff happening. Old Town wouldn't affect trams, right? Maybe we get a train station in somewhere by the casino. I don't know. Let's do at least one more. Where is it needed most? Around Sterling Bray, I think, would help out a lot, because that's what I feel is happening here, is that all the Sterling Bray residents are using this as their mass transit stop. I don't think that's helping us. So if they had some options on the other sides of the neighborhood, I think that would help a bit. But I think we need to rethink this. So what if we didn't have the farmland connecting to this all? And what if they had to go out to the highway? We'll want to rethink that because that's a little slop now. But I kind of want to connect this here. We'll probably knock out this last leg of this street. We need to rethink this anyways, so. This hooks around really funny, so let's delete one segment of that also. And let's see. Space already occupied by what? Not houses, that's for sure. Might have been that little piece of road, but now it's definitely not houses that are occupying that space. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll delete one on either side. And sometimes you have to do this a couple times to really hook them in right. Am I doing trolley bus? I totally am. Okay, so tram lines. Upgrade. Upgrade to regular. Back to tram. Okay. So we'll connect this up. Okay, come on. Sorry, I just... That's pretty decent. So I feel like if you snap to that, it goes out too much. Okay. So don't snap to the road marker, right? Right there. Come a little shy of it. That's still too much. Like that? That'll work. Okay, sorry, that was way too much messing around for that. So why is this complete? Because we didn't do the tram tracks all the way down here yet. Come on, upgrade. We'll bring trams all the way back through here. Which also gets rid of parking on this road. Which is okay. Because I wanted this to be like more of a highway, and it's why I didn't zone for the most part on this. Alright, let me finish up these roads, be right back. Alright, so into tram lines. Do we do another depot? Or do we just support this all off the same? I guess we could support it off the same. Over here, they should be using this turnaround and this turnaround, except for their initial excursion. I don't think they'll be heading out this way. We want to keep traffic off of this roundabout if possible. That's a heavy one that's causing problems. But if we can get some people moving around the city other ways, maybe that will help. So we'll do this right on that side. We want people to be able to get off and go to the memorial. We'll bring them down to here. And we'll stop every couple blocks. Do we just do one big long tram line? Or do we meet that in the middle? Somewhere. I don't have a ton of room to turn a tram around here. I don't think. We could try. Like we could do something like that. Will this less connect the road? That was a one-way, right? So, I mean, it'll let us do that. I gotta remember to do that before. We'll plant some trees. We'll move a couple of these houses out because that's way too close. What do we think of that? That could be all right if we fill this in with a little bit of trees. I think that's fine. And then that way we can split our line up a little bit on the... I don't know if that came from the mic. That was like a bucket of toys getting dumped out upstairs. Okay, so where were we? Let's redo this. We'll stop down here. We stopped at the correct side. Yes, we'll stop over there before we stop here in the middle of this block. Before we stop down here. No, we'll stop before the intersection so we don't back up traffic there. And then, yeah, we'll stop over here on the end of this. And then we'll come back and we'll try and stagger them a little bit. So maybe we stop. There are pedestrian paths on this side, but they can't crosswalk, can they? Can they just walk across to the median? I don't know what they do. Now up here, I want them to get a little closer to the other tram stops before circling back. And that should help move some of the people around Sterling Bray and this part of Aspen Heights and get them moving over here and give them another option for hooking into other transit, which should help reduce the traffic at this stop. I'll try and remember to check that before I hit play and see how that specific stop settles down. The other one that we can do, where are we unserviced? Really only from here to here. So maybe we don't bother with another tram line over there. Let's just do the one tram line for now. Get some more people moving around. See what kind of problems we created with that one. Transport lines are up this way. The easier way to do it is transport here. Okay. Tram lines. This brand new one doesn't have any passengers yet. This one was one of our problem stops that we're trying to solve. 243, right there. So let's let this play at 3 times speed for a minute and see, one, how many people go to that new line, but also what happens to the people at this stop. Right now, it's actually increasing. But I bet people haven't pathed there yet. Hopefully we make a situation where it's more appealing to take the tram to the other tram now. Might have made the problem worse. Let's see. We'll see. We're at 75% vehicle count modifier on this line, which for all the other stops is totally fine. Let's step it up to 125. And let's see if that does anything to this stop. Be right back. So we didn't have to wait too long for that stop to settle down, but now we're creating more traffic over here. I think. So the casino's a very popular stop. I wonder, because more people are willing to go to it, now they have some other ways to get there. So let's look at our new tram line here. Ooh, very, very popular at a couple stops. Let's see where everybody's waiting. I think I know where that last stop is. That one is the one that links the lines together. So that is good. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see that one being kind of busy. This one is very busy. And this one's problematic. So we'll see how that does. Did all the... What color is this? The brownish line? Like, they haven't even all finished rolling out of the station yet because of the traffic backlog over here. So this is all part of our problem, right? They're still rolling out. They haven't even hit the stops yet. So we'll see what that does in the long run. But sometimes you just have to wait it out for a bit. Traffic-wise, 87%. I feel like we've gone down since an episode ago. Trying to make some improvements, but honestly, nothing's that bad. Nothing's Nothing's as bad as this. This is our problem in the city right now, because over here, at least, things are flowing. In fact, they're flowing a little bit better now that we don't have that, that intersection over here. We've got to figure out how to bring this up to the highway. So this is going to be another, I think another kind of T trumpet style interchange that we'll do up here. So maybe let's scrap this and get this connected, because that will help traffic. It absolutely will, because we might be introducing more up here now. They don't have a way to come into this part of the zone, and there's very little zoned along this strip where the memorial is. Again, that's a couple months. Oh no, it just happened. It just happened. The date that's displayed in the bottom left of the screen is European format, day, month, year, which in theory makes more sense than how Americans do it. We do month, day, year. But you get used to it. So this was March 20th, 2045, which just happened while we were time-lapsing. So RIP Santa Rica. The game misnamed it. I just took an auto name from the game. So I know I realized after the fact that it was misgendered, and a couple people pointed that out. So it is the Santa Rica Memorial. I fixed it. But anyways, terrible thing just happened. Entire population of the town wiped out. Not good. We've been much luckier here. Just a couple fires. So we've got some additional tram lines. What do we do next? Let's take a look over here. I think we're wasting a lot on our university, but it's a pretty rounded out build in terms of the actual build. I like the Eden Project in there. Oh man, I do things sometimes and I forget. I did drop in so I could delete some of the uniques. I dropped in the recycling center, and there were 4 recycling plants over here. Got rid of all those, and let's, just because I didn't, see if we can smooth this out a little bit. I think the power lines grab land too, so they won't flatten out entirely. Can we flatten based on this? And then smooth out after the fact? Yeah, that looks a lot better. Do something like that. That's a little more the part. Now this is hooked up right now into the highway exit for the university, and they can of course come down this way to go into the main town. Let's do this highway exit, and then let's take a quick look at farming, forestry. Can we just do roads? No! I was being so careful. I was trying to be. I guess I wasn't technically being careful if that happened. Can we connect that straight? Does that look okay? I think it does. And then what happened over here? A little bit of a bend there. See if we can connect that straight, how that lines up. That works. And we could have done this before, right? Just delete a segment on either side, and you can sometimes clean up the bends a little bit. That one's still a little jetted out. We don't need these power lines. They're not doing anything. They're just getting in the way right now. So, what if we kind of hit the middle of this area here and do what we did over this way by spreading out the intersections a bit. So if we kind of come in at it this way, let's put a little placeholder highway. So we'll freeform and we'll just, do we come out a little more? So just to space it out a bit, and we've got, I mean, it's a little tight, right? It's like one intersection. I'm hoping this will be okay. Come in here and change directions. And we'll step this down to 2-lane. And then, what have we done? So we've come over the highway. Do we go under the highway over here? No, we still went over the highway. We just had a sunken highway. So maybe we go under the highway just for a little bit of difference here. So we'll delete a couple segments of this that we just fixed. And let's bring the ground down just a little bit here. Doesn't have to be too much. Just enough to get a road under it. And then let's slope it up on either side. So it's a little bit more gradual. Tool, highlight, there we go. So we'll try something like that. Just, I mean, we're going to do basically the same structure, just different ways that we can layer it. Above, below, on ground. Are we still on the lowest elevation step? We are. So 3 ticks is kind of up. Is 2 enough? I think that it is if we do a little bump like that. We'll just try and line all this up. So from here to there. Okay. Now, do we save ourselves enough room is the question. So coming underneath the highway. Yeah, we did. Okay. So this is getting on. So let's just come out to here before we even worry about hooking anything around. We've got a ton of room. A little funny. Do we do that before we... Ugh. We'll just do that for now. And same thing over here. Will it let us? If it'll let us. I bet that bridge pillar is going to get in the way. Sure is. So let's do this first. And then we'll reconnect that top highway and then double check our directions, which I'm pretty sure I messed something up. Straight tool is fine for this. So can we do that? We can't do that? Okay. Can we do this? Okay. I mean, it's technically the exact same thing we just tried to do, but that's okay. So our pillars are a little bit out of whack. That's a little bit lumpy. Maybe we can come down and click on that. It's still a little bit off, but I can deal. Roads, change direction, because we definitely just messed up a bunch of that. And then so we're coming onto the highway. Getting off the highway is backwards. And then let's do a little bit of lane pinching here. So, nope. Upgrade. Take this down to 2 lanes because there's only 2 ways you can turn at the end of the street anyways. So, same thing getting on. We'll do 2 lane until the split and then single lane up there. And now we've got this part of the town hooked back up. We had a roundabout there before. But it separates out all the traffic now from the industry, which hopefully will help us. You know, we could fill this area in up to the highway a little bit with maybe a tiny little industrial park. We're not worried about the pollution of it anymore. We are 0 and 0. So what is actually polluting? The buildings themselves are a little polluted, but they're not polluting the ground around it. So we're totally pollution free right now. Water is pollution free. Everything's doing good. So let's see. Let's let it play at 3 times speed for a minute here. So we do want to at least look one more time. What's going on? So there's no garbage coverage over this way. No death coverage. Let's we'll build a little city service area here. Regular roads. We'll come more towards the highway so that we can drop in something like the recycle plant. We'll put that all the way down the end. That shouldn't bother, yeah. That shouldn't bother any of the businesses. Kind of surprised that's not powered. What was that? Have I never used that waste disposal unit? Oh, that's part of the turns waste into electricity. How big is that? It's really big. How did I not know about that? That's part of the modder packs. Wave power plant. I didn't realize there were power plant options in here in the content creator packs. That's cool. We're definitely gonna have to explore those. Not right now though. Right now we just we need, like, this is why people steal power from their neighbors, because it's right there. Okay, we'll do that. We'll reconfigure those power lines at some point. Water. There we go. And let's see what we can do. We can drop in a couple more buildings now, I think. So we've got 2 sawmills, 2 lumber yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like, if I had to guess. Forestry. So that's the main building. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. Because the main building has a bunch of trees also. So what have we unlocked? Well, we've unlocked small tree sapling fields. We've unlocked the sawmill. That was unlocked already. That turns raw forestry products into timber. And then from there, we can also take some of our timber and produce paper. That is the biomass pellet plant. That's the first thing we have access to. This one's a polluter. We'll go ahead and throw this way down the end of the road. And do we have anything else? That's a small log yard, sawdust storage, fences. Okay, so we're good there. But I think we have factory number 2 now. We do, the furniture factory, which takes those things that we're making, timber and paper, and makes them into furniture. So we'll have to balance our production a bit, and I have a feeling we're going to need a lot more paper production. We're going to need power for them first. But we'll try and balance that out as best we can down the road. And we'll just run the water down the street. Looks like I got lazy there with the pipe. Get your mind out of the gutter. Demonetized. Just for thinking about that. We don't have good cemetery coverage over here, apparently. So instead of a cemetery... There you go. Right next door. Come on. Thank you. So we'll keep an eye on this and kind of keep trying to upgrade it. Did we get we got the level 5, right? On the... Yeah. You don't lose levels on industry. You can absolutely... You can lose levels at the college. Although what's interesting is it looks like I got back to prestigious. Oh, we have just... Yeah, we're just enough to maintain prestigious in a town of 27,000 population. We have 1,900, almost 2,000 students. That's crazy. We've got so much capacity, so if we wanted to back down some of those buildings, we could. There goes our power plant. Come on. The worst. I have the worst luck, seriously. It's because I love trees. The game hates me because I love trees so much. My maps are absolutely filled, chock full of trees. So I'm going to do a couple things offline. I'm going to mess around with this bicycle path. And I think I'll curve this around a little bit better so it's a little more parallel to the street on this side. Maybe hooks in and straightens out again so they can get in behind the zoning. And hopefully that will encourage even more people to avoid traveling by car. We're still, again, 89% is not bad. I'd love to see it in the 90s. Hey, 90, 91 just for a second there. Thank you. But you know what I mean? Like that's good. We've got areas we know aren't perfect. And again, this comes and goes, as you can see. Hopefully that new tram line will help settle things down a bit. Speaking of, one last look before we go. How is everything doing? This is our original... No, it isn't. This is our leisure line. And we can see there's a decent amount of people on there, but not nearly anyone waiting. So let's back that down to 75%. We'll come back to that, and we will see. But look at how few people are waiting on those lines right now. We did, I think, just make some people disappear. The second one, let's see where this one is. The purple line is... What's the purple line? Can we go to a stop on it? Wait, where? So the purple line is up here. Remember, this is the one that had like 700 people waiting at this stop. And we're down to 50 now. So let's go 125%. Let's move we'll remove a couple. Not too many. We'll see what that does. Because some of those are full, right? But most of them are not. So I'm hoping that will allow it to maintain good coverage. But you gotta wait. You gotta wait sometimes and see what's actually happening. So here, this line servicing the original downtown doesn't have too many people waiting. So again, let's go down. We'll go down 2 ticks. So from 150 to 100, and we'll see what that does. And we'll adjust as we go. And this one still has 80 people waiting on this one. And this is the tram line that comes all the way around Sterling Bray, Vermont Park. You need to rename that and that. Still need a lot of names. Some of them are done. So we'll keep leveling this up. This is not going to be... I won't keep cutting back this. I'm just going to keep adding the buildings in. You know, as we unlock them, new ways to extract stuff in the form of larger buildings. So it's just like having more of these. I think they're more efficient money-wise and provide more worker slots per square footage that they take up on the map. Then we process them into, in this case, paper over there, timber over here. If we don't want to go too crazy, and I don't think that we do, then we don't need all the production in the world, because we're not going to have all the unique factories. But you know, something that is especially stays inside the zone, like everything about this comes from the zone. So we're doing good there. Over here we have the bakery, which again, everything about this comes from the zone. So they don't have to get stuff from the outside world if we're producing enough of it. It's a constant battle. I wanted to mention this. I thought about this earlier. This is a two-way street, but this is a one-way that leads up to it. So all these cars are stuck here forever. The only people that come down here are the barracks. They work in the barracks. They work on the farm. So their cars now live here. unfortunately. I deleted this crossroad because it just wasn't conducive to good traffic flow. They were coming around off the highway around here to come in here and turn right. It made no sense. So so we deleted that, but we abandoned all these cars in the process. I guess we could do grass line streets. So there you go. We have no more abandoned cars. We fixed that problem. All set. These people are fine. Yeah, they have a two-way street. They can come and go as they please. But yeah, still lots of stuff to do. At some point when we finish, we'll round this off with some trees. We'll keep expanding here. I'm gonna do a little bike superhighway, I think, off screen here. But I'll give you kind of a tour of that after the fact. But we'll try and kind of hook that in and maybe bring it all the way under here and kind of bring them up. Like right here. Bring them to the transport. So they can take a bike to get to transport, to get out the city, to get to the other half. Maybe some people will take it. We'll see. One last look. Traffic, 92%. Beautiful. Love it. We're only at 28,000. It's a really small town, which I don't think is very realistic. I feel like that's more than 28,000 people. But what do I know? I don't know. What do you think? How many people live in this town that you see on the screen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, likes, comments, shares, they all help. They're all appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to get notifications. And if you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots of other things are in the description down below. Hope you're enjoying the build. Hope you're having a fantastic week. New videos Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We'll see you then. And until then, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.